Playboi Carti, whose real name is Jordan Carter, has emerged in recent years as one of the most influential and enigmatic figures in today's hip-hop scene. His unique style, which is an amazing combination of minimalistic lyrics, catchy melodies, and an experimental, raw and furious sound, has had a tremendous impact on the development of the genre. Carti has been hailed by many as a genius of his generation, and these are not empty words. His ability to create trends and shape the soundscape of modern rap is truly undeniable. From his very first releases, Carti stood out from the grey mass of other artists like a bright star in the night sky. His fresh at that moment pitch, maximum minimalism, and seeming simplicity of music became the magnet that simultaneously attracted and repelled listeners, creating an aura of contradiction and mystery around the artist. The first really loud work of Carti was the mixtape of the same name, Playboi Carti, which allowed Jordan to ride the wave of popularity of the new rap sound that swept the music industry. This release was a statement of intent, demonstrating the artist's unique approach to making music and his willingness to experiment with sound and style. A year passed and the world saw the next release, Die Lit. This album was a real revelation for fans of the genre. The psychedelic, minimalistic sound had almost hypnotic effect while listening, plunging the listener into a trance state. It was on this album that Carti's style received a significant update in the form of the so-called baby voice, a unique vocal technique, which he borrowed from the artist Young Thug and masterfully refined, adding his own unique features. This new element has become Carti's trademark and a role model for many young artists. However, the real turning point, the event that finally cemented Carti's status as an innovator and visionary, was the release of the album Whole Lotta Red in 2020. This release wasn't just a turning point in the artist's career, it turned the perception of what modern hip-hop could be. Whole Lotta Red introduced listeners to a radical new sound that boldly combined elements of punk rock, electronic music, and experimental hip-hop. It was not just an album, it was a manifesto, a declaration of a new direction in music. The reaction to Whole Lotta Red was mixed, which is often the case with truly innovative works. The album caused a storm of contradictory emotions upon its release, from complete rejection to absolute delight. However, time put everything in its place, and today, Whole Lotta Red is recognized as a cult release, which had a huge impact on the sound of many young artists and set a new vector of development of the genre. It should be noted that the path of Whole Lotta Red to release was not smooth. The album went through a lot of postponements and revisions, which was caused by numerous leaks of material, as well as the constantly changing creative vision of Jordan. The sound of the album underwent significant changes during the process. It was originally planned to be close to the style of Die Lit, with the main producer being Pierre Bourne. The concept then shifted towards a more mysterious and psychedelic sound under the guidance of producer Richie Souf. The result is something quite unique, where one of the main protagonists is producer Filthy from Working on Dying. His contribution to the sound of Whole Lotta Red is hard to overestimate. He helped Carti to create that raw, aggressive, and at the same time mesmerizing sound, which became the hallmark of the album. Speaking of Whole Lotta Red, we can't help but mention the crucial role played by artist Kanye West in the creation and promotion of the album. Kanye's involvement in the project went far beyond the usual executive production. He brought his unique vision and wealth of experience to help Carti push the boundaries of her creativity and reach a new level of musical expression. The influence of Kanye can be heard in the album's more experimental tracks, where Carti explores new vocal techniques and works with more complex layered soundscapes. Kanye helped Carti not be afraid to take risks and go against the flow, which is what ultimately made Whole Lotta Red such a groundbreaking release. Interestingly, it was recently reported that it was Kanye West who removed a few anticipated tracks from the final track list, such as Bat Gang. Or Trying to Get Down. This decision caused mixed reactions among fans, but at the same time showed how seriously Kanye approached his role in the project, not afraid to make difficult creative decisions. The release of Whole Lotta Red marked the beginning of a new stage in the career of Playboi Carti. The artist not only strengthened his position as one of the most innovative rappers of our time, but also opened the door for further experimentation with sound and style. This album provided a solid foundation for Carti's future works, including the upcoming OPIUM Music, or simply Music, a release surrounded by an aura of mystery and anticipation. Whole Lotta Red didn't just change Carti's career. It changed the landscape of modern hip-hop. showing that there is still room for bold experimentation and innovation in the genre. This album marked the starting point of a new era in music, the influence of which we will feel for years to come. After the triumphant release of Whole Lotta Red, Playboi Carti fans were eagerly awaiting the follow-up. An atmosphere of anticipation and expectation was literally in the air. Carti soon added fuel to the fire by taking to Twitter with the intriguing message that he was not finished yet. This short phrase sparked a storm of discussion and speculation among fans. Carti went even further by asking fans what songs they would like to hear on the deluxe edition of Whole Lotta Red. It wasn't just a rhetorical question. As it later turned out, a deluxe version was indeed planned, and insiders even provided a suggested tracklist for the expanded edition. However, Carti, known for his unpredictability and penchant for unexpected decisions, soon made a statement that shocked fans. Instead of the expected deluxe edition, he announced that he was ready to release a brand new album. The announcement caused quite a stir in the music community. In the comments to the post, one of the producers wrote the cryptic word Molly World, which fans instantly mistook for the name of the upcoming release. The announcement was accompanied by a radical change of image of Carti. The artist dyed his hair white and completely changed his clothing style, favoring white outfits. This transformation of appearance only fueled interest in the new project, creating a sense of the beginning of a new era in the artist's work. However, as is often the case in the world of Playboi Carti, Molly World remained an unrealized project, existing only in the imagination of fans and on Jordan's hard drive. Instead, the artist soon announced another project called Narcissist. The announcement of Narcissist was handled with Carti's usual mystery and drama. The artist's social networks were filled with cryptic posts, and mysterious billboards related to the project appeared on the streets of major cities. This campaign only fueled the public's interest, creating an aura around Narcissist of something more than just a music album.
Wake up,
Narcissist promised to be even more experimental and avant-garde than Whole Lotta Red, which seemed almost impossible given the revolutionary nature of the previous release. The main theme of the new project, judging by the visuals, was supposed to be drive, motorcycling, and everything related to it. Carti appeared in public wearing motorcycle helmets, leather jackets, and other clothes hiding his face, creating the image of a mysterious ghost rider. Fans' expectations reached a climax when Carti published a post asking them to forget about cleaning up the samples and release the album. This phrase hinted that the release was almost ready and was only delayed due to legal formalities related to the use of samples. However, as it often happens in the world of Playboi Carti, the fans' expectations were not justified. The album never saw the light of day as announced. Instead of releasing a new album, Carti went on a massive tour, initially called Narcissist and later renamed King Vamp. This tour became a true hip-hop event, redefining notions of what live performances by rap artists should look like. Carti's concerts have turned into real punk rock shows filled with frenetic energy and chaos. Fights at concerts, jumping into the crowd, and incredible energy became integral elements of each performance. Carti didn't just perform his tracks, he created a unique experience, balancing on the edge between a musical performance and a punk concert. The King Vamp tour not only strengthened the artist's connection with fans, but also demonstrated his ability to combine elements of different musical genres in his live performances. Each concert was a continuation of the Whole Lotta Red concept, where the line between rap and rock was almost blurred, creating a new, unique sound and atmosphere. After the tour ended, Carti gave fans another surprise by performing alongside Kanye West at one of his concerts. This performance caused huge speculation among fans of both artists. Rumors of a possible collaborative project surfaced, which only intensified after a snippet of the track 24 Songs from one of Kanye West's versions of the Donda album was leaked online. All these events made fans think about a major collaboration between Kanye West and Carti. According to information from insiders, Kanye and Carti were actually planning to release a joint album and go on a tour called Introvert. Carti even hinted at it on his Instagram, which further piqued the public's interest. However, as is often the case in the hip-hop world, these grand plans remained unrealized. Instead, there was information about a new solo project, Carti, under the laconic title Music. This announcement caused a new wave of expectations among fans. Music was supposed to be the culmination of Carti's creative experiments, combining elements of his previous works with new ideas and sounds. The title of the project hinted at a kind of summation, a quintessence of everything Carti wanted to say with his work. The period between the release of Whole Lotta Red and the announcement of music was characterized by constant anticipation and speculation on the part of fans. Carti skillfully maintained interest in his persona through cryptic social media posts, rare public appearances, and periodic leaks of unreleased material. This strategy of controlled leaks became Carti's signature style, creating an aura of mystery and exclusivity around his music. Every post on social media, every public appearance of the artist became the subject of careful analysis and discussion among fans, generating new theories and expectations. Carti's approach to interacting with the audience not only kept the audience constantly interested in his work, but also created a cult around the artist, comparable to the cults of rock stars of the past. Carti became an enigma, a mythical figure whose intentions and plans always remained vague and uncertain, which only increased his appeal in the eyes of fans. Toward 2024, the expectations of Playboi Carti fans reached an unprecedented level after the huge success of Whole Lotta Red and the exciting King Vamp tour, which showcased new facets of the artist's talent. Audiences were eagerly awaiting new material. The music community literally froze in anticipation, wondering what would be the next step of Carti in his unpredictable career. During this period, short snippets of unreleased tracks, began appearing online and spreading lightning fast among fans. These snippets became the subject of endless discussions and analysis as they showed the further evolution of Carti's sound. In them, one could hear how the artist combines elements of his signature style with new, even more experimental approaches. Two snippets in particular caught our attention: Killers. Also, All Red. These short snippets allowed fans to finally hear what their idol had in store for them. The new, lower voice of Carti amidst dark, psychedelic, and ominous beats. This sound seemed to be a logical continuation of the Whole Lotta Red style, but at the same time it was something completely new and exciting. It should be noted that the first hint of Carti's new sound was his joint track with Lil Uzi Vert called 2 Out. It was in this track that listeners first heard something remotely resembling Carti's low voice, which later became the centerpiece of his new style. This track caused a storm of discussion among fans, many of whom saw it as a harbinger of a new sonic direction in the artist's work. A new dose of information about the upcoming album has emerged on Carti's birthday in 2023. The artist included 2 previously unknown tracks at the celebration. The first is Vitamin's Jeans. The second is with Lil Uzi Vert and Problem Child with Travis Scott. Both tracks leaked online almost immediately, sparking a new wave of discussion and speculation among fans. These tracks not only showed the further development of Carti's new style, but also hinted at potential collaborations that could appear on a future album. In addition, at the same celebration, an interesting addition to the new album was revealed. Carti announced that the release would feature a DJ, similar to the DJ drama featured on the album Call Me If You Get Lost from artist Tyler, the Creator. The role of this DJ was to be filled by DJ Swamp Izzo, an Atlanta legend known for his work with some of the city's most popular artists. This decision added intrigue to the future release, hinting at a possible return to the classic hip-hop sound with elements of mixtape culture. After Carti showcased a track from Uzi at his birthday party, DJ Swamp Izzo made a surprise announcement. He announced that the track would be premiered to the public on his radio station V103 Atlanta. However, to the disappointment of fans, only a short snippet was played on air. However, the full version of the track was soon leaked online, which was another example of how leaks and rumors shaped the audience's perception of Carti's work. Another interesting moment was the leaked snippet of the track Heard You'll Getting Money. In this snippet, the voices of Carti and Swamp Izzo could be heard over a beat that rapper Yeat had previously used in his track King Tonka. This has sparked a new wave of speculation about a possible collaboration between Carti and Yeat. As it later turned out, Carti did indeed make contact with Yeat back in 2021 and expressed his respects to him, while the exact results of that interaction remain unknown. The mere fact that the two artists had contacted each other was of great interest to fans. Many saw the potential for an interesting collaboration that could bring together the unique styles of both artists. Despite a constant stream of new information and leaks, 2022 ended without a new album. Information about the music project remained scarce and contradictory. Some sources claimed that the album was almost ready for release, while others spoke of a creative crisis and constant reworking of material. The postponement of the release caused disappointment among fans, but at the same time only increased the excitement around the project. Carti, known for his perfectionism and unwillingness to release material until it was completely in line with his vision, was once again testing the patience of his audience. This strategy, although risky, kept interest in his music at a high level for a long time. The lack of official releases was compensated for by a constant stream of leaks and unofficial tracks. Carti fans are renowned for their ability to find and distribute unreleased material, and 2022 was no exception. These leaks, while not official releases, allowed fans to follow the artist's creative evolution and build theories about the direction of his new sound. This situation created a unique dynamic between the artist and his audience. On the one hand, the constant postponements and lack of concrete information caused frustration for fans. On the other hand, each new leak or snippet only fueled interest in the future release, creating an aura of mystery around it and the expectation of something truly revolutionary. This whole period of anticipation and speculation has only reinforced Playboi Carti's status as one of the most enigmatic and unpredictable artists in hip-hop today. His ability to hold his audience's attention even in the absence of new releases has become a subject of study and admiration in the music industry. By 2024, anticipation for a new Playboi Carti album had reached a fever pitch. The project, now known as OPIUM Music, had become one of the most talked about and anticipated releases in the hip-hop community. The beginning of the year was marked by the release of several singles that instantly caught the attention of both loyal fans and music critics, becoming the subject of heated discussions on social media and music forums. The first single that literally blew up the internet was a track called Different Day. This track appeared out of the blue on Carti's Instagram account, which in itself was unusual given his penchant for minimal social media activity. Different Day introduced listeners to a whole new facet of the artist's talent. The gentle, almost melodic sound with Carti's signature baby voice caused quite a sensation among fans. The track showcased the artist's amazing ability to combine experimental sounds with more accessible, almost popular tunes. This unexpected musical direction caused many to reconsider their expectations for the upcoming album. Following the surprise release of Different Day, Carti became active on social media once again, beginning to post numerous stories and cryptic announcements. This sudden activity only fueled the public's interest, creating the feeling that something big was going on behind the scenes.
I'm in the hat, she's in the heat, tell me why.
The second single was the track 2024, which was released on the artist's official YouTube channel. This composition demonstrated another facet of Carti's musical talent. In the track, the artist uses two different vocal styles at once, creating an impression of internal dialogue or confrontation. The beat, produced with the participation of Kanye West, was a complex, multi-layered composition, combining elements of industrial hip-hop with almost avant-garde electronic inserts. The track 2024 was received by fans with even more enthusiasm than the previous single, and it seemed that the release of a full album was just around the corner.
Put him on the news, son. I'm evil like Lucy, son. A whole lot of bitches be hating on me.
The next stage in the promotion of the album was the release of the tracks Hood by Air and Backrooms featuring Travis Scott. Hood by Air demonstrated Carti's return to a more aggressive punk rap sound reminiscent of some of the tracks from Whole Lotta Red, but with a new level of production and a more complex structure.
I need to roll over. You been at the funny and you fake popping, yeah, just like hot soda.
Backrooms, on the other hand, was a real highlight, bringing together two unique voices of modern hip-hop, Carti and Travis Scott. This track, with its dark atmosphere and hypnotic beats, became an instant hit and the subject of endless discussions among fans of both artists.
Stood in the field, holding me a bomb, throwing it hole like a quarterback. Yeah.
The final chord in the series of singles was the track Evil Jordan. This track finally showed why DJ Swamp Izzo is needed on the album and what role he will fulfill. Swamp Izzo brought an old-school hip-hop element to the sound of Carti. His energetic shouts and comments created a unique contrast to the futuristic-sounding beats and experimental vocals of Carti. This combination of old-school and avant-garde created a unique sound that many have cited as defining the new album.
Disrespect the five, I put your ass in the food chain.
Carti's collaboration with Travis Scott deserves a special mention. Carti's first full track appearance since 2021, unless you count Popular with The Weeknd and Madonna, was Fiend off the album Utopia from artist Travis Scott. In this track, Carti changed his style so much that fans began to debate if it was really him. This track was the beginning of a productive relationship between the two artists who seem to have found common ground in their desire for musical experimentation.
Money on top of me, money on top of her, money on top of me.
The second collaborative track was the already mentioned Backrooms, followed by Problem Child, where you can hear the duo finding common ground in their musical style. These tracks showcase the amazing ability of both artists to adapt their unique styles to each other, creating something completely new and exciting. Not too long ago, another collaborative track, Ziwaro Baptus, hit the net, the title of which is presumably a reference to the creative duo of Carti and Scott. Ziwaro Baptus turned out to be a rather atypical track for both artists, where they seemed to go beyond their usual styles to create something completely new and unexpected. This track once again emphasized the ability of both artists to constantly evolve and surprise their listeners. This fruitful collaboration culminated with Travis Scott announcing a joint show with Jordan, where he promised to perform new compositions by the duo. The announcement caused a huge stir among fans, many of whom began speculating about a possible joint album or mixtape. However, despite all these releases and announcements, the main question remained unanswered. When will the OPIUM Music album itself be released? Recently, insiders shed light on the reason for the delayed release, and that reason had a name: Kanye West. According to reliable sources, while working on Vultures 1, Kanye shared with Carti his ambitious plans to turn the game around again. As part of those plans, Kanye has offered to make changes to Carti's now ready-to-be-released album. Jordan, known for his respect for Kanye and his creative vision, agreed to release his release after the completion of the Vultures trilogy, the last installment of which was supposed to be released long ago. However, as is often the case with Kanye West projects, the release of Vultures faced numerous delays and problems. As a result, neither significant changes in the album Carti nor new material, except for a couple of tracks, appeared. In fact, Kanye unwittingly disrupted the album release plans of both himself and Carti, leaving the latter without much choice regarding the release of his long-awaited project. This situation has caused mixed feelings among fans. On the one hand, many were disappointed by yet another album delay. On the other hand, the very fact of Kanye West's participation in the project caused great interest and expectations. Kanye's reputation as a musical visionary and his ability to turn the game around made many hope that this delay would eventually lead to the creation of something truly revolutionary. In the end, neither his own nor other people's albums Kanye could not release well. In addition to all the reasons for the postponement of the album, insiders also provided information about the status of the release for 2023. It is reported that the verses for the album were recorded by Lil Wayne, Pharrell Williams, Kanye, Future, Lil Yachty, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Homicide Gang, Skepta, A$AP Rocky, Travis Scott, Kid Cudi, Lil Uzi Vert, and Drake. As we can see, the biggest and most famous artists in the industry are all gathered on one album. Obviously, the album will be the biggest event in the music industry when it comes out. But here's the question: what state is it in? Carti recently revealed 2 new tracks at the Carti Festival. The first is All Red. The second is Fuck on My DJ. Their new sound leaves only positive hopes for the album. But the good news is too. According to the same insiders, there will be 2 albums, one of which will be Baby Boy, pushed back to 2025. Carti himself confirmed this in a leaked phone call with A$AP Nast, where Jordan talks about how ready they are to do 2 releases in a row. To summarize, OPIUM Music still hasn't seen the light of day, but many insiders say that the artist will soon delight us with 2 albums at once, and the wait is clearly worth it, considering the guests and snippets. The album will change the music industry by setting an unprecedented early expectation for a music release. During the rollout, Carti also made a massive impact on the fashion industry, with his outfits timed to coincide with the release. It's unlikely that we'll see even similar PR and hype around a music album that has turned into a cult anytime soon. That's all for now. Put likes, write comments, and subscribe to the channel. Bye, everybody.